Hey everyone. This week I decided to focus on our ethical guidelines and principles as social workers. I decided to choose this because in my first week of placement, we had an inmate um, divulge some information to a community partner. And the community partner came and spoke to myself and Shannon and said that this inmate had come forward and said that he believed that his children were getting molested by um, his ex-girlfriend's new partner. The community partner said she didn't believe it was true just because he was high on meth and he was making some other uh, comments that didn't make any sense, like the man was living in the wall and things like that. But obviously, she still has a duty to report these things, and she would report it to CAS, which is the Children's Aid Society in Ontario, Canada. Um, but I guess he had told the mental health nurse at the jail about this, so she just wanted to double check that the mental health nurse passed it on to CAS because there's no point in this community partner doing that. So Shannon, who's the social worker that I work alongside at the jail, she called the mental health nurse and asked if she had reported this incident, and the mental health nurse said that she didn't. So um, for me, that was kind of hard to hear. Like, I get that we work with the same people all the time, and we know that um, these accusations are probably not true, and he's angry at his ex and things like that. But at the end of the day, if those kids were ever actually being molested, I would feel horrible knowing that I didn't step in to report that to CAS. Um, so the community partner and Shannon and I all did a phone call to CAS and explained the situation and explained what had happened, the address that the mom lives at, things like that. So CAS was still able to um, go check in on the kids and make sure that everything was okay, and everything did end up being okay. But the one thing that Shannon had explained to me is even if even if somebody with mental health issues tells you five things and four of them aren't true, you still have to go forward and do your due diligence and report things because the one out of the five things might actually be true. So I really absorbed that, I think, that first week and really took that in that even if you don't think that something's true, it's so important to follow your ethical and um, your ethical principles and guidelines, not only because if something did happen, like your job is now at risk, but also to know that you didn't step in when a kid or anybody could have been in harm's way and we did nothing to help them get out of that situation would be so horrible to even think that we'd allow that sort of thing to happen. So um, that really opened up my eyes and made me realize that you really have to report things, and um, it's really sad to see people in this field that should, especially working at a jail, like I think you really need like strong compassion for the people that we work with, and it just seems like the mental health nurse at the jail is burnt out or doesn't really, she's basically here for the paycheck is the kind of vibe I get from her, and it's really unfortunate because if those allegations ended up being true and she didn't report it, like I couldn't imagine how bad she'd feel, because those children could be psychologically and physically um, like harmed for the rest of their lives. So it's things like that that are pretty hard to see. But it was also, I guess, a good learning experience for myself in that I don't ever want to get to that point in my career. And if it is to the point where I've lost compassion or um, I don't I don't want to do what I have to do in my job, then I shouldn't be a social worker and um, I shouldn't be in this field. So yeah, it's I what I took away from that is always, always, always follow your ethical guidelines and principles within this career.